This 32 Highboy Roadster is a sweet slice of the California dream. Just hop in one of these machines and sunshine and good times seems to follow you anywhere. That's only natural because this mellow yellow mover comes from California Street Rods, where they're just waiting to help you build a California dream of your very own.
There used to be a time when seeing a 1932 hot rod cruising down the street was a rare occurrence. There simply wasn't that many of them still running. Replacing parts was expensive and meant hours of crawling around junkyards with little chance of finding them. Left with no other alternative, the parts had to be recreated in a machine shop or fabrication yard. From these humble beginnings, a new industry is flourishing. Chuck Lombardo is one such fabricator who has seen his hobby turn into a business.
That's the fun part about this. The hobby turned into a business, and it's something that you like, and not too many people get to do what their hobby is, as far as a business goes.
Chuck's company, California Straight Rod, started out manufacturing frames for hot rods. Since then, he has expanded to packaging parts to make complete cars, a 90s version of kit cars.
We call it a package more than a kit for the simple reason a kit in the early days was something that most people couldn't put together. As years went on, that the steel cars started to diminish, basically, and more manufacturers started making reproduction bodies, fenders, companies like us manufacturing frames. We started to look around to put something together to make John Q. Customer a package. Not as a complete car, but as a package to where he could put it together. We would pre-fit a lot of the stuff and then send it off to him.
What makes Chuck's operation so appealing to many hot rod customers is that he can tailor the car to fit the budget.
Starting at $10,000, they go up to $12,000, $13,000, $15,000, $18,000, $22,000. And it's really, it's not that their packages are going higher, it's just more components that you're getting for the dollars. We make this so it's universal to where I don't have to sell them a motor. They can go to a junkyard and buy a junkyard motor, for instance. We just try and make it an easy, basic thing for them to deal with.
In designing the kits, Chuck has tried to make the assembly as straightforward as possible.
We set it up for what type of motor they want. In other words, when they order the package, we ask the questions of, is the car going to have air conditioning? Is it going to have power steering? Is it going to have a blower on it? These are all things that enter into when we build the main chassis for that body. So that when he gets it, he don't have to do any modifications. He just drops his motor and transmission at that point in time.
But it is time-consuming, and a certain amount of mechanical know-how is required. For those short on time or know-how, Chuck will assemble the rod in his shop and deliver what is called a turnkey car.
A lot of times the customer will call and he'll order a kit, but he'd like us to mock it up, is what we call it. That's taken and assemble the chassis, set the body in place, line the doors up, set the hood on it, and set the grill shell on it, and make it a roller. And then if it's someone local or whatever, they'll come and pick it up on the trailer.
Chuck's customers come from all walks of life. Some enjoy the pleasure of building their own rod. Others relive the days long past when tinkering on cars was a national teen obsession.
People like to, I don't want to say brag, but I did it. This is my car, I built this car. They don't want it to be John so-and-so's car.
Among the cars that are on display in his shop are some rods that have graced the pages of Hot Rod magazine and won awards for innovation at major car shows.
Well, this car that's behind us happens to be the only car probably at that time, I guess I want to say this, it was the only car running around in existence that had an LT5 motor, which happens to be a ZR1 Corvette motor. And our involvement with Chevrolet over the years allowed us to do that. With the car got a lot of exposure all around the country, from French magazines to German magazines, and plus driving. I mean, the car, we've done some road tests with it. The car's a 12 seconds drag race type car with 3 tires on it. The Green Machine is something that was Hot Rod's idea. Let's put together a old-time car, which in this case happened to be a 55 Chevy, with modern motor and modern techniques, make it smog legal, so that it is, nice and easy to the environment.
In a sense, both these cars represent what is so attractive about the new breed of hot rod, the classic styling of the 30s, 40s, and 50s with all the latest technology under the hood.
These cars are really from a nostalgia era, but they're all late model drivetrains, with power steering, with air conditioning, power brakes. So now you can have something that looks different than anything out there, that handles as well as the new cars that are out there,